A really important success factor when you get a great team member is to onboard them properly. A lot of entrepreneurs are aware of hiring a great person. They're also aware of training them on the technical tools they'll need to do their job. However, there's that middle onboarding piece that often gets missed. And so in the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you some tips to make that part successful. Right off the top, I'm going to assume that you've got a good assistant or a great assistant, that you've done all the proper background checks and criminal record checks. If that in fact is true, then agreements are actually the first area that I look at when it comes to building an onboarding process. So that's going to be an agreement around what kind of position is this, what is the pay amount, how often are we paying, and any other kind of confidentiality agreements that need to happen. The second A is accounts. Now, the very first account that I suggest that you set up for your new team member is a support at email address, if it's an assistant or whatever this person's email account will be. Once that email account has been set up, now you can go ahead and set up all of the other accounts based on that new email address. So whatever communication tools, any marketing tools, any CRM tools or whatnot, we need to make sure that they have the tools they need to get the job done. The third A is apps. So we need to make sure that our teammate has all the downloaded apps to their phone and or to their computer desktop. So perhaps in the previous step, you had them create a Skype account. Now we need to make sure that we actually download the software onto their computer and possibly onto their phone as well. And keep in mind, that could be communication tools like Slack or Skype or WhatsApp. It could also be a CRM tool like Infusionsoft or HubSpot or any of the more major tools. Now, the fourth A that we want to make sure we have in our onboarding process is access to grant. So in your business, you may actually have a core values document where you've outlined what's important to you and your team as your North Star. We want to make sure that that gets shared with our teammate. We may also need to grant them access to certain communities or groups that we have online. Very, very important as well. So those are the first four A's. And the fifth element is a P, is payment. Now I touched on that a little bit earlier. With payment, it's really important that your teammate understands how much they're going to be paid, how often they're going to be paid, and how they're going to be paid. It's one of those things where they're new to your team and you're new to them. Just as much as you may have some hesitation around, is this person going to be trustworthy? Believe it or not, they've actually got the same questions about you as well. So something that I'll often do with teammates is when they're new, I'll pay them actually once per week, every single week for the first month or so, just so that they can feel like, okay, I'm getting paid, I've got some confidence, especially seeing as I've got an internet business and there's a lot of questionable stuff online these days. Then after that, we'll move to a monthly arrangement is how I've set myself up with my team. I know lots of different teams will pick bi-weekly or something like that as well. So once you've thought through and you've kind of sorted out the four A's plus the one P, you can define your onboarding process. And once you've got that in place, you'll find it's actually tremendously helpful because every teammate that you bring on in the future, you'll be able to just use the same onboarding process again and again. We keep our onboarding process inside of a project management software. We use Teamwork and it's got checklists. And then from there, that's supported by documents that we create in Google Docs if we need to teach certain things or share templates, perhaps for invoicing and whatnot. So there you go. Those are the elements of a great onboarding process. As far as I can tell, we've used it in dozens of businesses with great success. Hopefully that helps.